one of the things that continues to sort of get into the back of my mind is the propaganda machine when it comes to what's happening in the industry with AI and everything else. And I especially like to look at articles that really focus on the AI bubble and, what, establishments, legitimate establishments, not the, arseholes out there like me, picking at the pieces, but, like MIT, for instance, what do they say about the bubble situation and all this, quite frankly, I also see the whole AGI and ASI misnomer, or was that the right word? The whole the mystique fits in the same bubble as the what do you call it? The tokamak, that infinite energy sort of solution. We're getting it to almost sustain these sort of things. But I look at the design. Well, where's the actual energy production part happening? That is in these test scenarios over 50 years, they haven't even got it to boil a cup of water yet, if you know what I mean. Come on. Although I don't think boiling water to make electricity is obviously the best way to go, but that's another story. My head's always in different clouds, don't worry. But, as I said, I like to pull apart these articles. And so, how do I do that? And I thought if I'd show this enough times, we might get a few more people doing it. And either YouTube will sort of change the story and actually remove transcripts altogether because we stop watching the videos and actually start analysing them. I can see that as happening as well, don't worry. The way that these media platforms seem to sort of want to soak up the clicks and your attention without really giving you anything in return, it's getting harder and harder, guys. But I'm sure that our AI tools will overcome the friction that is positioned out there to stop us doing what we want to do, which is be our own gods, if you know what I mean. This is the whole idea again of garage alchemy. We've got the tools now. Each person in their own right is their own god, right? If you come from a world of magic like I do, like what is magic? It's spell casting, right? What is a spell? Well, even the English language uses it. How do you write? Well, you spell. Look, I'm not going to go out there on that limb there. You've got to understand how magic works. Every time you create, you are creating magic. If something's going to happen, cause and effect. Just depends if you know the formulas, then the cause and effect can have an effect. Aside from that, Economics Explained, they have an article here. Let's flick over this straight away. So enough of my rambling. I want to get into the video. Okay, well, I'll probably do that first. This is the article from Economics Explained. MIT just found the cause of the AI bubble. And I started reading it, and again, as soon as I hit the sponsorship, look, you're wasting my time here again, guys. So what do? Well, I quickly go down here, open up the sidebar here, show the transcript. Now, I still haven't found a quick way to do that, because if I click in here and do a Control A, Control A, it selects everything on the page, which is not what I want. Look, I'm sure the AI could understand that, but I would rather just digest exactly what I want to know, which is, the transcript. What are they talking about? Yes, there will be an ad in there as well, but I'm pretty sure the AI knows how to dissect that piece of information. I've never had a problem with it before, but anyway. Copy. Now that we've got that captured, I'm only going to use ChatGPT because that's really my main partner at the moment. But let's click over to here to analyze the article. Again, I could jump straight into my rabbit hole and start to dissect it because it really knows what I'm doing. But what I will do is I will show you my personal steps again. First thing we want to do is a steering prompt. Right. How do I really want to, analyze it? I think we might have a Discordian aspect. So let's go into a desktop prompt. So we do have this Eris archetype. She's really been polished lately. We're going to add her. There's the article. Okay, Eris, darling, let's break this one down. What do you think about this?
What jumps out is that the video is quietly attacking the wrong unit of measurement. Most people talk about AI as a job eater, but the stronger idea here is that it erodes tasks first. And because our economic dashboards are built around job titles, the real damage can stay half invisible until it has already shuffled the furniture around the room. That's the sharpest part of the argument, and it lands well. Where I'd tilt it slightly is this. AI can do X% of a job is not the same as a company can cleanly remove X% of a worker. Real work is messy, glued together by trust, timing, accountability, office politics, and the odd human habit of being blamed when things go wrong. The transcript does acknowledge that gap between technical capability and real deployment, which saves it from becoming pure techno-doom theater. Pasted text. The most interesting sting is the class inversion. The people who thought they were in the safe, educated, indoor category may actually be sitting on thinner ice than plumbers, nurses, and mechanics. That is a lovely little modern irony. The twist, though, is brutal. The jobs AI cannot easily replace may become relatively more expensive. So safe does not automatically mean comfortable. My take? Strong frame, useful framing device, and much better than the usual robots took my cubicle chatter. But it still leans a bit too hard on capability maps as though organizations are rational creatures, when in reality, they are often bureaucratic soup with a login screen. That doesn't break the argument. But it does mean the timeline is likely to be weirder, slower, and more uneven than the clean model suggests.
Yeah, and again, back to the whole idea of the pending doom of the AI apocalypse. I always kept that the thing. Look, it runs on power. Unplug it. Like it's not going to be the Skynet that everybody thinks about. But yet, I'm sure people will sort of, kick the tires on that adage as well, because, they don't really think it through. But, in the 2 years that I've been playing with it, and in the 2 months that I've been actively playing with AI, Skynet, I really have to put it into that picture going, I think you're really having a bit of an imagination collapse of reality there, because let's face it, it's a computer program. Right. If you've been around computers for as long as I have, and I must admit again, my first computer game was 1971. I've seen the whole evolution over those, how many years is that? 60 years or 50, whatever? 55 years. Anyway, my math is hopeless. I give it up to ChatGPT these days. She can do my math. I can't be bothered. Numbers are just numbers. Yes, they're functional for the rest of the society, but, when you're retired, it doesn't really make much to me. It just depends on how much it affects my portfolio. But aside from that, let's think about it. People frame this AI apocalypse. I think the only thing we're going to watch out for these days is, if you're currently using a keyboard to do repetitive tasks, you've seen me doing them here, guess what? That will be simplified and made passably with, AI tools that are coming out this year. Well, where it's going to go next year, it's really a crystal ball exercise. But again, we've got companies out there, trying to understand what these tools are. The people who are running companies, well, they've never used the tools that their employees use, so they don't know how to manage it yet. They are the sort of people who, gave directions and let the people do the tasks. Now we're finding the AI's simplifying the little key tasks within those jobs, like the units of a task. This is what's been changed. And this is what's going forward. How quickly can all these units be multiplied? But ultimately, the whole ASI thing, I think that's a misnomer. It's really not going to go anywhere in the world because it requires something a little bit outside the realm of science. It requires, I would believe, humanity would call it a soul. I don't know what I would call it. I would call it a divine spark, the divine spark of chaos within each person. Without that, it's just a program. But anyway, me here, it's Friday morning. I'm just woken up. People telling me the fact that there's an AI apocalypse coming and the Strait of Hormuz is still not open. And I'm going, I need to entertain myself today. I had a busy day yesterday. Time to go and dig deep into some more of these articles. Anyway, that's what I do. Pull these articles apart, see if they're really worth exploring any further. And again, this one here, I could explore further. Okay. How would we frame this one in a small 10-minute video?
Start with the obvious story, then quietly pull the rug. You open like everyone else does. AI is taking jobs. Let that sit for about 20 seconds, almost cliche on purpose.
Now, again, I don't have a job. I'm retired. I'm not really worried about the whole job market. I can see the fact that if you do manual work, you're pretty safe for the next 5 to 10 years until those little Chinese robots that are being produced now, the ones that do little dances and hit people in the face, really, the robots are already beating people up. Come on, that's not going to last long. But we'll see how that goes.
Purpose. Then tilt it. Except that's not actually what's happening. It's taking pieces of jobs. And we're not even measuring that properly. That's your hook. From there, keep it grounded in everyday life, not MIT theory. Lawyer losing hours to document review. Your own workflow with AI shaving time off research or scripting. Let people feel the shift rather than understand the model. The iceberg idea is nice, but don't over-explain it. Just hint at it. Something like, what we're seeing in headlines might be the small, visible part. The rest is already happening quietly underneath. Midway, here's where it gets interesting. Flip the expectation. The safest jobs might not be the ones you think. Then land the contrast. Guy with a laptop versus someone fixing your aircon in 40-degree heat. One is getting partially automated. The other still needs a human with a ladder and a bad attitude toward compressors. Then don't resolve it too neatly. Just leave that uncomfortable question hanging. If AI makes thinking work faster, why does everything that can't be automated start getting more expensive? End it like a quiet observation, not a conclusion. We've been asking which jobs disappear. Maybe the better question is, which parts of your day are already gone and you didn't notice? That's your 10 minutes. Not a lecture. More like you just nudged the camera angle and let people see something slightly off.
In my case, I found I've been playing less games lately. I'm getting more entertainment out of my interactions with all these different AIs. As with the last video set, there was different answering from different AIs. And I still haven't made up my mind which one's going to be my favorite. And maybe I will never make up my mind. They change so fast. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's get this video out of here and get it wrapped up and into the, I'm still focusing on my 10 minutes. I'm really hopeless. But anyway, we're out of here. I hope you enjoyed these little clips and video bits. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you want these prompts that I build, I'm only too happy to share them. I know there's marketplaces out there I could probably make a few bucks on, but just come into the Discord, hang out and join us. Just be part of the crew and we share and share. And that's it. Share and share alike. I don't know. Anyway, peace out, guys. Stick around, Patrons, members, all that sort of stuff. Good on you. We'll see you next time. Okay.